So Raw this week. I know I'm doing the Wrestle Wrestles now, but I will admit I got a little sidetracked. Dead Rising 2 came out, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock came out, and a couple other games came out, and I've got a little sidetracked. I did watch Raw, and I did watch NXT, though, and I just took an extra day or two to get around to recording it. So, man, Raw this week. Let's go through it as we normally do from top to bottom. Now, at the beginning of the show, Miz comes out saying that he and Daniel are having a match tonight. And then Daniel is like the guy who wins the lottery. But after he wins the lottery, he thinks that every time he plays the lottery after that, he's going to win every time he plays the lottery. Who does that? First off, I don't think anyone in the history of the world has won the lottery and then as soon as they won, played it again and expected to win. It's not the weirdest stuff they say during the night, so I'll... fuck it. But I was watching this with friends, and a friend pointed out to me that you know a guy's ego is soaring. Just massive when he's wearing a shirt that says, "Hello, I'm awesome," and he's wearing a Speedo. Wrestling gear, whatever. And it's kind of obvious, yeah, even to people who haven't watched wrestling, yeah, Miz is the bad guy now, but I guess WWE doesn't try to hide the fact anymore that, oh, these people are trying to be bad, these people are okay. But after this, Daniel Bryan comes out to Ride of the Valkyries because he is fucking awesome. I'm sorry, if I hear that music and that is somebody's entrance music, I can't not like them. It's just in my blood. I cannot dislike somebody who comes out to that. But Daniel Bryan does come out and interrupts The Miz for some reason. And then Miz gets upset with this, of course, because he just got fucking interrupted. How rude is that shit? And he's about to tell Bryan that, of course, he's The Miz and he's awesome, and then Morrison comes out to interrupt him again. And then we get the match start. And the match is Miz and Alex Riley versus Daniel Bryan and John Morrison. Moving down my notes here. Because again, Raw was a couple days ago now. Yeah. At the match start, Jerry Lawler is ranting about just how dumb The Miz is. And Cole actually agrees with him. Because, excuse me. Cole actually stops his dick sucking on Miz for a second because Miz commented that Daniel Bryan's Superman music was really fucking stupid. And then The Miz looks really fucking stupid because that music is not from Superman. That is from Apocalypse Now. Thank you. If Cole is supposed to be just riding The Miz all the time, and he actually has to stop to just correct him and tell him he's fucking stupid, again. But, yeah, this match, it actually goes as you'd expect it to anymore with The Miz and Alex Riley. Miz and Riley, they get control really early, and Riley and Miz just tag in and out every so often to keep Morrison away from Daniel Bryan. Most of the time during the match, though, I'm actually not watching. I'm not watching the wrestling as much as I am listening to Cole and Lawler. They're arguing constantly, and Jerry Lawler is just constantly calling Cole's bullshit, and it's fantastic. But once Bryan gets tagged in, he gets maybe 3 hits in before The Miz gets to hit his skull-crushing finale and gets the pin. The match sucked. Yeah, all it was keep Morrison away from Daniel Bryan. And once Daniel Bryan in, the match was over. It's basically highway robbery because Daniel Bryan is a very good wrestler and he should be able to show off those skills on something other than a pay-per-view. I'd like to see him do something on Raw other than lose. But after this, everybody starts fighting outside the ring. Just everybody starts fighting. Daniel Bryan starts hitting Miz. I don't think he starts hitting Alex Riley. But then Morrison comes out to start beating on the Miz, and then Daniel Bryan, I guess, gets confused and starts hitting Morrison. And then, all of a sudden, Michael Cole has received a message from his boyfriend. I mean, the general manager. Oh my god. Michael Cole gets the message from the general manager and announces a triple threat match at Hell in a Cell. Submissions count anywhere. Now, I've been told, like, I was thinking originally that this was it was originally going to be a Hell in a Cell match, but submissions counted anywhere anyways, but apparently not all of the matches at Hell in a Cell are Hell in a Cell type matches. So, if that's the case, having a pay-per-view named after a match type, a little redundant if all the matches aren't that match type. If it is a Hell in a Cell match, don't submissions count anywhere anyways? Just a thought? Again, it is a submission count anywhere match, but it's not a submission match, it doesn't sound like. So, we're either guaranteed that the match is going to end by a submission, or the match is going to end by a pinfall, and it's going to be the most useless match ever made. I wouldn't put it past WWE, though. I'm pretty sure I remember them doing it a couple of times before. Not the, making a match type where it didn't even end that way. But, oh well. Who cares? That's over with. And now we gotta move on to our next match. Oh boy. I hate the divas in this. I hate WWE's divas so much. I really do. Next match. Through the Rope Battle Royal for the #1 contendership of the Unified Divas Championship. And Lay Cool comes to the announce table to offer the... Oh my god. They're going to commentate on the match. And as soon as they picked up the headsets, that is exactly when I muted my TV. Because I don't want to hear that. It's bad enough with Cole. Adding 2 more little bitches to it? No, mute button. It's handy. But the actual match itself? Fighting is beyond terrible. I mean, all of the moves, if you're actually paying attention to everything that's going on, because you don't have Lay Cool bitching at you and screaming, and Cole agreeing with everything they say, then you have to watch everything that's going on. And maybe 20% of whatever they're doing is actually making contact. There are kicks nowhere near hitting the other person. There are punches being thrown that don't make contact. They're basically shoving each other and hugging each other around the ring. And the match, it's just so fucking bad. It doesn't get any worse the entire night. I don't think it's been worse in a long time. I mean, I don't even think the WrestleMania Battle Royal, I think it was WrestleMania with the, all the divas, like with Molly Holly and all these other returning divas, that wasn't even as bad as this. This sucked. And, oh my god, I felt bad that I had muted my TV, because, you know, maybe Lay Cool was being okay. So, I rewatched it. Once Raw was over, I went back on my DVR and watched it again, with it not muted. and lay cool does not shut the fuck up ever! Oh, they're snoring into the mic, they're breathing straight into it, they're making shitty music references, they're doing stop hammer time shit, and they're being loud as fuck! Shut up! No one likes them! And they don't shut up ever! Ever! And as soon as the match is over, finally they shut up. Finally, because Lawler all but kicks them the fuck off of the microphone. The match was maybe 5 minutes, and it felt like an eternity. Because two chicks had to open their fucking mouth and didn't shut the fuck up. Spoony, you watch this. I may be giving Wrestle Wrestle back to you at some point. This shit ain't cutting it, man. Oh my god. We're past this now. We're past this. We gotta be past it. Because Natalya Neidhart won. Because she's the only woman who can actually wrestle anymore. And it was her and Alicia Fox at the end of it. And if they're going to let Alicia Fox be the #1 contender, then they're out of their mind, because she's seriously going to scissor kick someone to death at some point. She's just one misstep away from crippling somebody, and they fucking know it. So, after this, WWE cuts to John Cena being on ESPN talking about Legendary. No one cares. No one watched Legendary. There's a reason it was in theaters for fucking 2 days. In limited theaters. It wasn't because it was so good it's getting an exclusive screening at some theaters. No, it fucking sucked. So stop airing your stupid commercials all the time about Legendary. We get it, it's on DVD at fucking Walmart because no one wants to see it. Okay, fine. Stop it. We come back from a commercial. Maurice and DiBiase are still being messed with. Someone knocks on their door. DiBiase goes and runs at it. No one's there. Oh my god. Who fucking cares? No one cares about these people. This is the stupidest plotline ever. Does anyone actually care about who might be messing with DiBiase and fucking Maurice? Really? If you actually do, all I got. We're going to skip down in my notes. Sheamus makes his way to the ring, which I'm okay with at this point. With all the stupid shit that's happened so far, I'm okay with Sheamus. Until Sheamus grabs the mic. And Sheamus starts talking about some story from Ireland about someone trying to lay claim to Ireland. And it was about princes having a race to... it was a race, and the first prince to lay hand on the kingdom was the ruler of said kingdom, and he talked about how one king who was freaking the fuck out and really wanted in on it, he cut off his hand and had it fucking thrown at the kingdom, and it landed like smack down in the middle of a street in the kingdom. And this is important because apparently Sheamus would gladly cut off me own hand to win back his WWE title. His voice just, it's funny to me. Sheamus then warns that anyone who crosses him, he'll kick their ass. And blah, blah, blah. Again, no one really cares. Open challenge. And you know what happens when anybody throws out an open challenge? Great Khali answers. because he can wrestle. Yeah. The Great Khali should not be wrestling anymore. I get it. He's a giant. He makes people look good. But at the same time, it's clear as day there's something wrong with his hip. Because the way he walks. He can't get around. And his dumbass, I'm pretty sure it was a week ago or the week before that, his dumbass eliminated himself in a match with Edge. Fucking walked right over the top rope. So, I don't know. Khali just doesn't seem like a great choice to be just kind of throwing out at people all the time. But, again, he's huge, so he makes people look good. So, all Khali does is get out, smack Sheamus's chest, leaving a big-ass handprint on Sheamus's chest. And after that, Sheamus gets himself disqualified because he decides to run out of the ring and starts beating the crap out of Khali, hitting him with pieces of tables and shit. Fine. It's a shitty match. It lasts maybe a minute. And Sheamus does his heel thing. He beats the crap out of Khali all the time. And then once Khali finally starts making a little bit of a comeback, Khali goes to hit him. And the one thing where Khali does get hurt, he fucking no-sells it. Khali smacks his hand on the ring post and then holds his head. Pretty sure you didn't hit your face there, buddy. Maybe he hit his ginormous Jay Leno chin on accident. I don't know. But, whatever. It cuts away. We get a commercial. I already hate Raw. And all this shit, all this crap stuff, it happens and it's only, like, at this point, it's like 40, 42 minutes into the show. So I'm hoping what they're doing is getting the crap done early. Leaving the last half to be decent. Maybe good. Maybe really good if I'm feeling lucky. But then, coming back from commercial, WWE shows one of their little facts that they like to show. And it was 60,000 teens expected to participate in the WrestleMania Reading Challenge. Nah. They expect most of their fan base to be able to read. Anyways, cutting edge segment. Edge interviews the Raw GM. Okay, I was looking forward to this. I thought this could be maybe, really clever. Maybe they were going to use Skype and we were going to be able to get a voice. That wasn't what we got. We got a voice. It was fucking GLaDOS. I swear to God it was GLaDOS. It was fucking Microsoft Sam with auto-tuning to hell applied. It was crazy. It was fucking GLaDOS. GLaDOS is the Raw GM. And it was so weird. Because imagine GLaDOS saying, "Why you be hatin', yo?" Didn't sound right to anybody. And this quickly started to piss off Edge because he realizes that he's arguing with a fucking computer. He is standing there arguing with a computer and he realizes it and then he shuts the fuck up. He starts to walk off and then GLaDOS says that Edge can't walk off because he has a match right now. And then Edge is like, "I don't have a fucking match." It's like he didn't know he was talking to the GM. And then, of course, John Cena comes out. And that is when we get our match. John Cena versus Edge. Skipping down again. This was actually a kind of long match, so I'm gonna be looking at my notes here. Edge takes control early on, keeping Cena outside and doing a baseball slide before Cena gets thrown into the steps. And Oh yeah, and then right after all this shit happens, Cena gets thrown into steps. He takes a baseball slide to the face. As soon as he gets back in the ring, John Cena no sells, gets him up for the FU. It's an FU. I'm not going to call it an attitude adjustment because that's too fucking long. It's an FU. But John Cena, he fucking, I know he's got his merch powers, but for fuck's sake, I mean, this is like a minute into the match and he's trying to no sell already. Edge counters. And soon after, John Cena goes for his 5 moves of doom treatment. He gets one shoulder tackle, and as soon as he goes for the second, he misses because Edge ducks, and John Cena lands completely wrong. He landed like right on his kidney. Something looked really wrong about it, and he actually hurts himself. Which is good, because you can't no-sell when you're actually hurt. But soon enough... God damn it. Soon enough, John Cena pops right up again, and Edge has to remind him how to sell shit because he drops him straight back to the mat. And this happens a couple of times. With the crowd chanting for Edge, John Cena no sells again and goes for a top rope FU. Like, it's not even set up for it. And he just starts climbing the rope with Edge on his back, expecting this to work. This couldn't work even by WWE standards. Like, they get away with a lot of crap. No, you just knew this was gonna suck. Because, no, Edge gets back, throws him into the corner, and fucking spears him. Edge spears him and actually pins him and gets the win. But that is when the GM interrupts, because Cena's foot was under the rope. So the match continues. Now, I'm pretty sure I've seen pins with feet under the rope 1,000 times before. As a matter of fact, I'm sure I have. And I thought the only way to interrupt a pin was if your foot was on the rope. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm just missing that. But I've been watching wrestling since I was fucking 7 years old. And I don't remember pins being broken up for feet being under the ropes. But oh well. Edge gets pissed because, he just won and the GM restarts the match. This never fucking happens. The GM never interrupts things referees don't fucking catch. But then, as Edge goes for another spear, Cena, of course, catches him for an STF. Cena gets the victory. Now, what this could have been, they could have used this as a push for Edge. Like, if Edge had actually if they'd let him have the victory, and maybe this was used as like a plot point to, maybe like Edge is winning matches to try and figure out who the hell the GM is. That would have been kind of cool. Like he's going through different superstars trying to figure out, who the hell the GM is. GM's like putting him against other people, shit like that. That would have been okay. But what we get is them turning it around to make Cena win because he's the fucking poster child of the WWE. That's a shame. No, actually, no. What the shame is that I'm coming up with better ideas than the fucking WWE writing staff. I don't know how many people make up their writing staff, but I know it's more than one fucking fat guy sitting in front of a camera. After this, Edge limps for about 2 seconds and then forgets about the submission he was just put in. And starts yelling at the laptop. The laptop says, "Don't look at me that way." And then Edge tosses the stand that the laptop is on, tosses it over, and the screen goes blank. And then Edge goes and gets a chair. And then he starts walking towards the laptop, and then he ditches the chair. Never mentioned again, so that was just Useless. Edge picks up the laptop, snaps it over his knee. That had to fucking hurt, because one thing I noticed was that the laptop is not it wasn't the MacBook that it normally was. WWE cheaped out, and they replaced it with this, like, 1995 metal brick that it was clearly only made to show it was rigged to show an image, and that's it. It had no plastic. It was full-on metal. So Edge snapped this thing over his knee and probably fucked up his knee hardcore. And then on top of that, Edge takes the bottom of it, which probably weighed like 30 fucking pounds by the looks of this thing, and just starts slamming his face with it. It's metal! He breaks his fucking forehead open, and he's bleeding as he walks away. Not the smartest thing you could have done, dude! I mean, I know MacBooks are fucking expensive, but does the WWE have the fucking money? Yeah, they do. They can replace that. Not have the wrestlers break their faces open with 40, 50 pound bricks. So, it's the most useless fucking thing ever, because the GM's just going to be coming back next week with a new laptop. How much you want to bet? And it's going to be the actual MacBook. I can guarantee it. Now, after that, we get Nexus members Slater and Gabriel versus Mark Henry and Evan Bourne. Okay. Every time I see Slater now, I just think of CM Punk, not CM Punk, wow. John Cena when he said, once Nexus is devolved, Slater will go back to work at Wendy's as the chick from Wendy's. Just sticks in my head every time, so I don't know. It's funny to me. Now, at the beginning, Nexus keeps control of this match because, well, Mark Henry and Evan Bourne, it's just such a weird pairing for a tag team. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to be legit with it, or if it was like, during that little tag teams scramble thing that they did for the new titles, like where they had like 5 different tag teams at the same time, it honestly felt like they were kind of just thrown together so that they could have more tag teams in there. But, I don't know, I guess they're trying to keep them legit now. But once Evan Bourne starts fighting back, he tags in Mark Henry, who comes in and wrecks shit, because he's an angry man. Mark Henry tags in Evan Bourne, but Bourne gets knocked off the rope as he was going for Starborn. And Gabriel goes up for the 450. He misses the 450, and then Bourne immediately goes back up and hits Starborn this time. And then Bourne and Mark Henry wins. And the match is very short. Like, I know I'm not giving these matches justice, but I don't think you want to hear me going, Evan Bourne hits Justin Gabriel in the face, and then flings him into the rope. You don't want to hear me doing basically the jobs that Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole are doing, just basically commentating on what they're doing. So I'm just giving you the summary. But after this, Nexus retaliates and just destroys Mark Henry and Evan Bourne. It's disgusting. All 5 of them, just fucking Rat Pack tactics. It's disgusting. And then they get in the ring talking about how they're going to invade SmackDown. Fuck. I already have to deal with them on Raw. And SmackDown, I normally get exempt from their stupid shenanigans. But I guess not. guess not anymore. Does WWE know they're going to drive me insane? Seriously, what? Actually, you know what? Now that they've started unifying these titles again, people are going back and forth between shows, defending them. This is actually kind of cool. Because maybe they'll stop fucking doing the drafts. Maybe they'll just decide, okay, we're going to get rid of our shit, and we're going to keep our good wrestlers, and we're going to have them wrestle twice a week. I would like that a lot. Because back in the day when they did that, it was really good. You got to see, you got to see Stone Cold twice in a week. You got to see The Rock twice in a week. You got to see DX twice in a week. It's not normally, oh, well, you get to see all the good stuff on Raw. You can watch SmackDown if you hate yourself. So, maybe with SmackDown going live, that's a step in that direction on Sci-Fi, so we'll have to see. After that, it's the Hart Dynasty versus Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes for the tag team titles. Now, Cole immediately goes batshit insane on the Hart Dynasty because he apologizes for being so hard on them last week because he was an asshole to them. They were sitting there right next to him and he was a dick. And then he apologizes and then is immediately an asshole again, bad-mouthing them. Just being a complete dick. But again, that's Cole being a heel. Tyson Kidd and McIntyre are going back and forth in the ring, of course. And, God, fucking Cole. Yeah. Tyson Kidd, the fucking hair. It needs to stop. The little poof of hair. Get rid of it, man. That is the most retarded looking fucking shit in the world. Rhodes comes in, and Cole continues to tell people that, like, earlier in the night, he was telling people that Miz was on GQ, and then throughout the night, he's been saying people have been in GQ, and then says that McIntyre or Rhodes was in GQ as well. And Lawler tells him to just shut the hell up, because not everybody's been in GQ. I mean, they may have been, but not everybody has. I mean, it's just something that Cole hasn't let go of throughout the night. And as Lawler tells him to basically shut the hell up, D.H. Smith gets tagged in and starts wrecking house. And then Cole says something that I don't think is correct. He says, "Remember, real men shave their legs." I don't think that quote's right. It might be. Doesn't sound right. But, after that, D.H. Smith continues to keep control, and D.H. Smith actually hits, what looks like an angle slam. Like the Olympic slam that, Kurt Angle does. It looked exactly like it. So that kind of just, like, threw me off. Like, was that an angle slam? Okay. Anyway, that got him a 2 count. But then Cody Rhodes hits his little finisher and gets the win. And McIntyre and Cody Rhodes retain the titles. And after this, D.H. Smith and Tyson Kidd are outside the ring just having a little temper tantrum outside. D.H. Smith, most specifically, he's just ranting, and I don't know. Tyson's talking about, you were supposed to hit him with the clothesline. And anyway, it just devolves, and D.H. Smith shoves away Natalya and then walks off on his own. Oh well. After that, it cuts to John Cena talking with R-Truth. R-Truth telling John Cena basically at Hell in a Cell, be careful. Because he's the most reckless... I don't feel right saying this. He's the most reckless, get-crunk person he know. And then John Cena reminds us about how white he is by telling us just how crunk he can get. But after that, we get our main event, which is Jericho versus Orton. And this could be good, because Jericho can wrestle, and Orton can wrestle. That's two good things. Jericho grabs the mic, telling us that when he wins the match, that he's going to be the number one contender. Which is, in fact, correct. And I think. And now he's going to cut the head of the serpent, and then proceeds to list the people that he has defeated in the middle of the ring. And he actually starts listing them. Eddie Guerrero, I think he actually says Chris Benoit, which I'm pretty sure is a no-no. Just starts naming, name after name. Stone Cold, The Rock, Hogan, Roddy Piper, just naming everybody. And then he gets cut off by a commercial. That's 2 promos that I have seen cut off in less than a week. Because they did it on SmackDown to Jack Swagger, and that's fucking taped, so that's bad. But this is live, so A, it's acceptable because A, it's live, shit can get away from you. But B, I don't remember this, but apparently Jericho in WCW would start naming all of the moves he knew, and would get cut off by a commercial, and then would come back and would still be naming the moves. And this is exactly what they did here, except he's naming people he's beaten in the middle of the ring. Coming back, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and when they come back from commercial, he's naming people in TNA. Because he's naming Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. He says Kevin Nash, then Diesel, like they're 2 different people. But finally, after all that shit, Orton comes out. And that profoundly stops the whole naming of people. And once the match starts, Jericho actually takes control pretty early. Again, looking to the notes. Excuse me. Orton turns it around, and basically the whole match, these guys are back and forth between controlling the ring. It's actually a pretty good match. Orton knocks Jericho out of the ring, and they go back and forth again until Orton hits his shoulder. After a break, we come back with Sheamus coming out to watch them. Because he likes to watch. With Jericho taking control again, he knocks Orton down with an enziguri and then puts him into a submission. Orton breaks free, and Jericho dropkicks his ass for being so insolent, I guess. Orton comes back again after a little bit and does a power slam and revs up the crowd before Jericho fucking clocks him. Then Orton hits him with a neck breaker, and Jericho counters an RKO and hits a lion salt. 2 count. All this time, this match is constantly going, okay? This match is constantly keeping pace. They're always doing something. It's actually a pretty good match. And for this other crap that happened all night, I'm really liking this so far. But this keeps going on until Jericho gets Orton into a Walls of Jericho. This goes for a while, and then Orton rolls under Jericho and kicks him out of the ring before using the rope DDT, where he pulls them in, has them hooked on that middle rope, and then DDTs them. Orton then does his little Viper prowl as he sets up for an RKO. Sheamus runs in and gets Orton a win via disqualification. Even though Sheamus, I don't think he actually landed a hit. He ran in and started hitting, going to hit Orton, but Orton just knocked him the fuck out of the ring. But he hit Sheamus with the rope DDT, and then he goes to punch Sheamus, and Jericho runs in with a code breaker to save him. He catches Orton mid-run and just hits him with the code breaker. Jericho goes and gets a chair and comes back in, but Orton dodges the chair and gives Jericho an RKO. Then the crowd goes heel. I'm serious. The crowd starts chanting, punt. Even Lawler's like, are they chanting for him to punt somebody? What is this? So yeah, Orton starts setting up to punt Jericho. And the crowd is chanting with him. So they're behind this 100%. How is he a fucking babyface? How is he not a heel? And Orton does it. He runs up and punts Jericho right in the fucking face. Now he's going to be laid up in a hospital unless that punt magically just doesn't have that effect anymore now that he's not a bad guy. But that is how Raw ends. After Orton's fucking punts Jericho out of the ring and then stares down Sheamus. That is how Raw ends. The last match was really good, except for the punt, which threw me off. I'm pretty sure that's not how faces work. Sorry. Pretty sure the good guy's not supposed to cripple somebody. But, you know what? This is a couple days afterwards. So, that means I have watched NXT as well. And I'm going to talk about that as I move to my next thing of notes. NXT is the one thing I never wanted to see. And I'm not talking about rookies. I'm talking about Matt Striker with a live microphone. I don't like Matt Striker. But as the night starts on NXT, the rookies are brought out on stage. And I don't watch NXT normally because I don't like to torture myself. But in case you don't know either, the names of the NXT rookies, in order that they'd appeared, is Oksana, AJ, who's the nerd, Caitlyn, who is Vicky's, Jamie, Naomi, and Maxine. Now, WWE is clearly... I think they're only doing a women's version of NXT because they haven't had a breakout diva since fucking Trish Stratus. That's a long time ago. And I'm talking when Trish Stratus first got there. Yeah. So, the challenge for the night, the thing that they have to do, is a fucking wheelbarrow challenge. The divas take the wheelbarrow, they gotta run around the ring with it, and the fastest time to run around the ring and then get back to their start point wins the challenge. I have one question, though. What the fuck does this have to do with wrestling? What does it have to do with anything? At all? Like, this seems like something you'd find at, like, a fucking carnival. If you wanted to win a fucking, like, ticket prize. Not win a spot on fucking primetime wrestling television. Anyway. No, not anyway. This is why no one in Nexus can't fucking wrestle. No one in Nexus can wrestle, and this is why. NXT does all this bullshit fucking... they do all these stupid little challenges. They do all these challenges and don't actually teach them how to wrestle. They don't make them any better. So they're sitting there, and once, like with Nexus, once they got onto Raw, they didn't know how to do anything. They had their previous wrestling experience, and that's it. And they botched everything they did. This isn't going to be any different. This has me worried, and that's the bad part. But Matt Striker is apparently very amused by what a little girl suggested behind him, apparently. Even though the little girl's like, yeah? And says, "You are right, little girl. What's so challenging about just rolling around a wheelbarrow?" So Hornswoggle comes out to be the weight of the wheelbarrow. Who cares? not going to bother giving you people's individual times because it doesn't matter. WWE, clearly this was, like, thought out for people to, like, certain people were supposed to finish at certain times, but people were finishing early, so they let the clocks go an extra couple of seconds. So clearly, even NXT is scripted. Which is a little bad if it's supposed to be like the reality version. Caitlyn wins. Because that's cool. And she high-fives Hornswoggle. Then Hornswoggle picks her up and Vicky doesn't like that. Again, no one cares. But, during all of this, there is one part that made this really, really tolerable, and I'm going to go back up in my notes so I can tell you all this. During all of this, Michael Cole is on voice, is on commentary, and Michael Cole is fucking going on for like I'm gonna read off quotes. This show is terrible. This show sucks. What the hell does this have to do with being a diva? This show is a cure for insomnia. This is the worst television. For the love of God, this is a wheelbarrow race. Oh God, I have to watch this 6 times? And then he says something that I didn't even know about. I quit this show 2 weeks ago. I don't even need to be here. And he sounds so sad when he says it. Michael Cole can make NXT tolerable. How bad is that? I used to hate Michael Cole, but when I heard him talking shit about NXT, that is fucking hysterical. Like, he clearly doesn't even care as he's sitting there. Because when they cut to him, he's just, like, all reclined back. And he doesn't even have, like, a tie on. He's just, like, relaxed back, barely glancing at the camera. Cole is just flipping his shit the whole time. And it's the best. But, again, Caitlyn won. So after that, it shows an interview with AJ. Because apparently, she was at WrestleMania 12 or something. In the worst seats ever. And that's important to know. But she is a nerdy diva, so I guess that makes her okay with us. Because I know I am, I know Spoony is, and I know everybody else that guy with the glasses is fucking nerdy as hell. So, nerdy and geeky, because that's awesome. So, this chick has my vote. After that, we cut to a commercial. And as we come back, we get a recap of the last match of Raw. Excuse me, my allergies are killing me today. After that, they air their own commercial for Legendary over their airtime for NXT. And then it cuts to a commercial. So we've gotten... It goes like 5 minutes of commercials, then what might as well be another 5 minutes of commercials, then another 5 minutes of commercials. Because they don't have content for NXT. All they have are these challenges, and they only do like one a night. And after that, they've got nothing left to do. So, after this, there's another interview with Caitlyn, showing that she is goofy. Great. Commercial. We come back, and it literally shows the entire last segment of SmackDown. Like, from Kane coming out, his entire speech, Paul Bearer coming out of the casket, Undertaker beating up Kane, Kane running off, the entire fucking thing. They don't even skip through any of it. They show the whole thing. And then they cut to a commercial. NXT is so fucking worth it, let me tell you. After that, when it cuts back, we finally have NXT stuff. They're actually in the ring, but the ropes have mysteriously changed color. They went from yellow to blue. Wonder what this means. Oh wait, I know. Anyway, Matt Striker has the Divas in the ring, and he has the Divas diss-off or something? I think that's what he called it, where the Divas have to diss each other to make the other Divas look like bad choices to be on Raw and make them look better. And I will give you the summary of what every one of them said. Oksana, her accent makes everything unintelligible. It's like Borat reading Playboy. It's the least sexy thing ever. Then it goes to AJ. AJ says she's not going to diss them, and then says that divas do not need to wear high heels, and that divas can read comic books and read video games. And I'm okay with this, because divas don't have to look like all these fucking whored up bitches. They can look actually nice and be like geeky and nerdy and shit. That's okay. That is fine. Then we go to Caitlyn. Caitlyn does an impression of Naomi. Naomi gets pissed, and Naomi kicks her down. Caitlyn falls on her face, but says she falls on her ass, and then says she's the best choice. Then Matt Striker has to tell her that, no, you did not fall on your ass, you fell on your face, and you're fucking stupid. Jamie says Oksana looks like a trapeze artist, AJ looks like a 10-year-old, and that makes Jamie the best pick. Okay. Naomi yells at Caitlyn for being slow on a challenge because Naomi screwed up. Like, apparently Naomi slipped and that cost her a little bit of time. And if Caitlyn were any slower, Vicky Guerrero could have gotten a faster time than her. Okay, that's an insult. But again, who cares? Maxine talks really slow. Like, really slow. She's trying to be a hero. She's trying to be a heel. And it's not really working. Meanwhile, AJ and Caitlyn are behind her, failing at patty cake. They can't do it. These girls must be the only two people in the world who don't know how to play patty cake, and they can't do it. Maxine goes on so long, she says so much, yet says nothing, that they actually have to beep her so she'll stop talking. Like, they throw a buzzer at her, and that stops her. And after that, they decide, okay, who did the best at dissing people? And right as Striker puts his head over Oksana, like, did she do the best? And the crowd's going boo. That's where my DVR recording stopped. So I'm gonna venture a guess and say that AJ won, because AJ is the only one that the crowd reacted to. And that probably means she's exempt from elimination. So that's it. That's NXT. Fuck NXT. Seriously. I know it may seem like I don't care about NXT, and you're right. I don't. NXT should be a 30-minute it should be a 30-minute show, and it's not. It's a fucking hour, and the hour showcases their own fucking commercials and showcases segments of SmackDown and Raw that previously aired because they don't have enough content for the show. So why not just make it 30 minutes? I don't know, and neither do they. So, you know what? fuck NXT. I'll watch it, I'll give you the results, but I'm not gonna like it. That's it for this week until SmackDown. Fuck this shit.